Welcome to American Hometown, the Quarantine Edition. I am your host, and here's your co-host, Sonny Roberts. So before we get started, want to make sure that everybody knows to hit the subscribe button and make sure that you hit that little bell so you can get some updates because we don't know what we're doing. It's pretty clear, but we will be continuing with this during the quarantine. We're reaching out to all the businesses that have agreed to do our show with us in the first place, that we started at the beginning of March, and then the whole world went upside down. And to give credit where credit's due, I'm going to say give a shout out to Mike Rowe, who inspired me with this idea.
Yeah, the TV,
you know,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if he can do a Zoom call, why can't we? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we have Cleve and Gillian from Larue Winery with us today. We were going to go out and meet you guys face to face. I'm sorry we can't do that right now, but we are looking forward to doing that very, very soon and seeing all the great things that you guys have out there. You're still placing orders and you're still delivering stuff. So you guys aren't shut down, which is great. But I want to give you the opportunity to tell everybody what's going on, where you are with all of this chaos that's happening, and if there's anything that anybody can help you out with.
And can we get a few bottles of that wine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, there you go. That's the best part, the byproduct.
Well, we're a small local winery here in Lewisville, Texas, and we specialize in natural wines. So we keep all our wines as natural as possible. No sugar, for instance, in our sweet wines. Our grapes are brought in from Chile and California and produced here on site. We have a beautiful winery that we've just moved into this location, actually a bigger location, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
We opened to great success, and of course, just like many people, we're closed down. However, we are offering free deliveries within 10 miles of our Lewisville winery location. So we encourage everybody to go to our website, www.laruewinery.org, and choose your selection, and we will do free deliveries.
Okay. And
Sorry.
Hello.
okay. Right. Answer that phone.
Yeah.
See, again, like
You're
I
the one
said,
who sits in front of us at the movie theater.
yeah. See, again, like I said, we don't know what we're doing. We're just throwing this together.
Hey, that's the best fun.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
We don't want
But-
serious, and we're not serious, are we?
No.
We just actually did a little sing-song to try and get some orders.
Oh, yeah?
We just videoed it.
Yeah.
It was a silly song, but it was funny, and we're going to put that on Facebook as well.
All that matters is you're having fun.
Well,
Because we do so not to be serious, we were silly, weren't we?
Well, that's Gillian, you were telling me in a conversation that we had that you were talking about maybe looking at doing something like a virtual trivia night.
Yeah, there's different things we can do, but one of the things we looked into was using a software where people can actually log in with their phones, and then it's a trivia. You do the trivia, and then you have like 3 seconds to answer. If you don't answer, you lose points. If you answer it correctly, you get points, and then it automatically, after each question, shows on your phone and on the screen what your score is, where you stand with the crowd that's competing. We haven't put it all together yet. Gillian's worked really hard on getting the trivia questions and presentations, which we were planning on doing here at the winery, but now we're having to do the virtual aspect of it. But we thought it would be fun to do it here from the winery, but have it be virtual so that people could still participate and still feel like they're connected to the winery.
Right. And so you mentioned that eventually, well, the plan was to have a trivia night there, but I'm sure eventually, once we're all
actually have done one.
Yeah,
we have
we did
actually.
one.
It was very successful. Again, it was a laugh because I do a little bit of an English twist. I attended a lot of trivia places in England, and so I do a little bit of English twist at the end of it.
Okay, what's the
So what I
English
do
twist?
is I generally everybody gets a piece of foil, a square piece of foil, and whatever's going on in the news that day, I say, okay, you've got to make this. So the last one we did, we had to make spaceships on the first trivia night we did, and it was a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one who wins actually gets a free glass of wine. So, and it's just a little bit of something extra at the end, make a panda or whatever's going on, if the panda's been born at the zoo or something.
Okay.
So that's a lot of fun, adds a little something.
When we eventually are let back out of our houses and can come out there, that'll be a lot of fun to do. So what other things do you guys have going on other than orders and order delivery? Is there anything else that you need?
No, I think, right now we're just, because of the move and we've expanded, there's a lot of other opportunities that we're looking at. One of them was the possibility of having a winemaking class. Unfortunately, the only drawback there is that our juices, they're not pasteurized or anything, so they come in a refrigerated truck, and you have to ferment them right away. So trying to get, as an example, 10 people with 6 gallons each to go through a class and then commit to being here basically every day to check on it and work it through the process. We haven't worked out those logistics yet.
So we're going to work those out.
Yeah, and the other thing that we are talking about doing is that when the juices arrive, which we're still kind of wondering how that's all going to work, when the juices arrive, we may do just a class on what we do here, and we'll walk everybody through it so they can participate, and then they don't have to necessarily be here. We can record it and show them, okay, today we're doing this, and the hydrometer is reading this, and this tells us such and such, and kind of walk them through the process on how we do our fermentation here, and then all the way up to the bottling process.
We do bunko nights,
yeah,
and
we have a lot
3
of
bunko nights, book club.
Yep.
We do wine bottling, which is hilarious, where everybody gets to turn on the machinery. Someone is doing the sparging, someone is filling the bottles of wine, someone's doing the corking, the foiling, the labeling, and then we suddenly say stop. Everybody does a little bit of quality control because it's very important, and then you move on to the next stage. Right. So that is very, very popular. So we want to start that up immediately because we're a little behind on bottling our wine right now. We should have already done three bottlings. So we'll start that up again
free help
as soon as possible. Yes, and everybody goes on with a bottle of wine, and
we have food and we play music, and it's just an all-day party.
It can be kind of messy because invariably someone gets drenched in wine because one of the machines gets stuck and the wine just spews everywhere, and then it looks like a murder's taken place here if we do red wine because it just goes everywhere. It's like, lock the doors.
So at no point are you having people stomp the grapes around like in that old I Love Lucy episode?
The grapes.
We're going to do that.
We thought about bringing in grapes and doing like a wine stomping competition or something, or grape stomping competition. But for now, the juice has already come crushed, so it's just pure juice that we get. We get the juice from the Apple Valley in Chile and from Lodi, California. Those are our 2 locations.
Hey, what if you come buy some of the juices and do a live interaction and make it at home? Could y'all do that? Teach us how to make it at home?
Yeah, we could.
We could.
I mean, I know a guy that used to make it in a bathtub in Oklahoma.
No.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's enough information.
But
no, I mean that's actually a brilliant thought. Is that we could order the juices, have them come here, give them what they need to do it, and then they take it home and do it
from here,
and then just do it from here. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. That's actually something that I did.
An amazing winery. It shows all the tanks, all the massive tanks that people can.
You got it on camera, right? So
yeah, we can see.
I'm going to pan around.
Okay.
So you see the glass windows.
Mm-hmm.
And behind that's the tanks. So the point of the glass windows is the federal government wants us to separate our operation from the rest of the winery. So, and their most important thing that they were after was this little padlock here to show that we can lock out the public. Yeah, that's the government for you. And then these doors, and of course, that's just a personal opinion, doesn't reflect on you guys. But so then these doors, this was all Gillian's idea to build the separation, and the feds bought off on it. And they liked it. And then you come in here, this is the winery. These are our tanks. This is our secondary tank, which is the closest. The one in the far background is our primary tank, which is where we have to chill it. We have to chill the wine at 55 degrees for white and 65 degrees for red wine, otherwise it'll burn up. Then there's a chiller, which you can see here looks like a big air conditioning unit, and we're kind of putting things together because we just moved in. But this is our chiller. The paddle here, which reminds me of parochial school, that's what we use.
Actually, this is for Cleve when it gets out of hand.
Yeah, when I get out of hand, she uses that on
with
me.
it.
So, but we stir it every day while it's open fermentation. I don't have the tank lids hanging yet. They're laying in the bottom of the tank. We still have to put those together. The white tote you see up there is how the juices come. And then everything you see in boxes is bottled wine.
And by the way,
Oh, yeah.
my husband makes me climb in these tanks here and clean them. And because I'm the smallest, I have to climb in here and scrub the tanks.
Oh, yeah.
So if we open this up, you can see that the tank lid is laying on top of the floor there. But
what's scary, you could put the tank lid all the way down here.
yeah, so if you don't see her for a few days, you might want to check. So this is our filter machine. This is a filter press. We put the filters in between each one of these sleeves and filter. It's still not all set up. These are all the products we use. And then when we do our tours, we walk people through it as far as the bottling. And you heard Gillian mention sparging. It's where we clean the bottles with filtered water, and then we fill them with nitrogen so that when they fill up with wine, there's no air in there. It's just the nitrogen at the top. This is our corking machine. This is our foiler. This is where you get a real good body workout, where you put the cap on the top of the bottle and then it foils it. It's not heat shrink. And then we have all these intimidating medieval looking gadgets and tools that go along with the winemaking process. But that's the winery operations. Then when we walk over here on the other side of the wall, you can see our winery, our tasting room. And then we have all those barrels in the back are all full. They've got different variations of wine. And then right here is our different wines that we have. We currently have 9 different wines, all the way from oak-aged white to the sweet wines that Gillian talked about that have no sugar. And then we have a port. We take 600 gallons of our red wine to the local distillery, have it distilled into 60 gallons of 140 proof brandy, and then pour it into the juice while it's fermenting, kills the yeast, and it makes a port.
Wow.
And the port is amazing. If you just put a shot of port in a glass of red wine, it's just brilliant. A lot of our customers love that, and I would highly recommend it. Not just that I'm plugging our wine, but I would recommend it anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
But we've got a nice little area here, what is likened to the Friends set.
Mm-hmm.
Little couches and stuff. Everybody likens that to that.
Central.
So this is.
And then we're building an outside patio.
Yeah, we see where the garage door is in the back there. That actually rolls up, and there's an exit light and a door that goes outside the back there that we open up when we're open. And then we're going to have an outdoor patio there with this kind of similar lighting that we have in here.
Everybody says it's a cheers bar because what we do when someone comes in, and we have a lot of locals now who didn't know each other at first, but now they do. So we're likened to cheers.
They all
Because
scream the name.
everybody gets to know your name.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody sit there and just ignore you. We interact, we tell jokes. My husband is the king of jokes, and some of the jokes are forbidden that I've forbidden him to tell. But
I'm a retired firefighter, so what I tell everybody is that firefighters and prisoners have enough time on their hands where they can make up jokes.
oh God.
and most of them aren't for the kids.
No, most of them are either not for the kids or they're gallows humor driven. So you gotta be careful who you're talking to, I guess.
Yeah. That looks like a beautiful place, and I can't wait to get out there. It looks like you guys are still getting shipments in.
Well, we haven't. We're supposed to get a juice shipment this month, but we're not sure. I think the commerce is still open. It's kind of weird how it happens. The grapes go from California and from Chile to Canada, and then they process and crush them there in Canada and ship them. Now, what I've been told is the commerce is still open on the border, But I haven't heard from our vendor. He said mid-April. He's usually pretty good about letting us know. So I'm going to email him this week and say, hey, let us know, because we have to prepare for the juice to arrive. But we're hoping that we get them in mid-April. This particular order is red juices, some Merlot that we make in an oak age. We make our sweet from it. We make our port from it. There's just different things we do with this blend. So we're looking forward to getting that going so that we can keep up with our inventory.
Right.
But it's we just have to wait and see. We could be delayed, but hopefully it wouldn't be too much of a delay.
Yeah.
Because the juices have already been harvested. The grapes have already been harvested, and the juices are there. It's just whether or not they'll be able to make it across the border.
Well, we may need to make a wine run down there this week, because we've got some clients that may want some of that wine. We could go drop that off, and I know my wife would want a bottle of that red wine. So, it's a win-win.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
yeah, it is a win-win.
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to where we're allowed to do deliveries, and we're licensed to do deliveries, and so we that's been kind of keeping us afloat while we're all shut down. So
Yeah.
and then people can come by the winery and pick it up as well. So
Yeah, we'll deliver, or you can pick it up. So
let us know.
yeah, we'll be grateful for any orders at this time.
Yep.
And that's just the best way right now to help keep you guys and support you guys
Right.
as we go through this.
And can we give you our phone number?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, it's Larue Winery, 214-215-7758.
We are looking forward to finally being able to get out there and do the episode that we had originally intended. And I'm so grateful for you guys taking the time to do this little experiment with us. As imperfect as it was, I think it was perfect. I mean, you guys showed us how you have a really beautiful place there. At any rate, let me close this out. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, remember to subscribe and hit the little bell to get our messages and alerts, because we will be bringing more information to you as we go on. And you're going to find out that there's more to Texas than cowboys, oil fields, and barbecue.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you. We'll see y'all soon.
Okay,
All right.
bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.